Today, I want to discuss the graphs that you find in the Detailed Agent History and Find Agent by Volume Trend workbooks. I have found when I talk to system users about these graphs, they're both the least understood and least utilized. These graphs can actually be very powerful tools in gaining insight into an agent's career over time. First, remember that you can choose to view the data either by volume or sides. This can be a very helpful distinction. Switching between these two views can help you gain insight into whether an increase in volume is attributable to the agent closing more transactions over time, or if they've moved into a different price market and are closing the same amount of transactions at a higher volume. If I start by looking at all of the agents in a particular company by their production trend, I can see their trend over time to see if their production trend over the last 24 months is part of a greater trend. Of course, this builds off the year-over-year change column in the reports as well as the close volume column. If you aren't particularly adept at reading these types of charts and graphs, this is not meant to confuse you. We have the ability to hover over any of the points on this graph to get the data that it is representing. You will always have the close volume over the 12 months prior to the point that you are hovering over, as well as the closed transactions in that month that is being displayed. The chart on the bottom of this view addresses the trend of the listings carried by this agent over time. You can use this chart to see where an agent has held the most listings at one time and compare it to the chart above to see how that affected their closed volume. The next view speaks to how an agent might reach their capacity for carrying listings. This view shows their active and expired listings over time. The active listing count is on top, and you can see where an agent peaks in their career regarding the number of listings they carry. And underneath of this is the number of listings they have had expire out over time. The bottom chart is a bit backwards, as the higher the peaks, the more listings they have had that have expired. So, though the line is green, it's not necessarily a good thing for this agent's production. So let's back up. I've described so far these two views and how to read them. But let's simplify this and talk about how these can be used practically. These graphs tell a story. Looking at the closed volume over time, I want to show you how this can tell the story of an agent's career. As you know, through your own experience with working with agents, there's almost always a reason or cause for someone's business to drop or pick up. A drop in their business could be attributed to them having surgery or a death in the family. A dramatic increase in business could be that they've changed their approach to getting listings, or they've doubled their efforts. Maybe they hired an assistant. This chart alone can be a great conversation starter with an agent. If you have an individual in your office to discuss their career, consider pulling this up and showing it to them. Ask them about the shapes in the chart. Have them tell you the story of their career as it relates to this data. You may find that this leads to a very constructive recruiting or coaching conversation. Please reach out to me if you have any questions on this or anything else in our system.